what does living with the Prophet in our hearts, what does that look like in today's modern daily context? Like, what are some things that we can make part of our daily routines?
In how we have the bumper sticker that you see on the back of some people's vans where it says WWJD, what would Jesus do? Right?
Yes.
So it's a slogan that Christians use to think about what would Jesus alayhi do. But we're so fortunate because we know what the Prophet sallallahu would have done, right? Like his life is so carefully documented. We know everything about how he dressed and how he ate and how he walked and how he was with his family and how he was with business people and how he was with the public and how he was with children, mashallah. So we have a blueprint, mashallah, for how to live our lives. And so teaching children about the Prophet ﷺ in an age-appropriate manner is crucial. And, I see a lot of people like trying to teach little children about battles and wars and, some of the heavier aspects of his life, when honestly you could be teaching children about how the Prophet ﷺ went to visit a little boy when his pet bird died, right? And how he used to like to race with his wife, Aisha radiallahu anha, and how he used to mend his own shoes in the home, and how he never got upset with Anas radiallahu anhu in the 10 years that he was in his own home, never said uff to him. And, never nagged him or scolded him, just reminded him gently about what needed to be done. So those examples, I think, are really important to, one, to be teaching our children, but then two, also as parents to be modeling them, using the Prophet ﷺ as our role model in how we think, how we act, how we speak, how we live. And even with our children, like if you have a child who's throwing a tantrum, reminding them that the Prophet ﷺ said, when you're upset, to sit down. You're still upset? Oh, he said you should lie down. You know what else he advised us to do when we're angry? To drink a glass of water. How about I get you a glass of water? Like getting the Prophet ﷺ's voice into the children's heads and teaching them to do things mindfully, letting them know that this is how the Prophet ﷺ used to do it. So like in our home, Jummah was a big deal, Fridays. And we would have a routine where we would go in our backyard and we would clip our fingernails, and we would do our fingernails in the Sunnah order, which you can learn from the fiqh books. There's a Hanafi fiqh text for children called Talim al-Haq, and in it has a diagram for like what order to do your fingernails in. So, making that your routine, putting on your best clothes, putting on your best scents, playing dhikr in the home, reciting Quran in the home, and talking about how the Prophet ﷺ did all of this. And I know of a father whose child, 2-year-old child, would throw a tantrum every time he got in the car in his car seat carrier, screaming for his dad to like roll down the window. And the dad, instead of getting upset with the child and yelling at him, telling him, why are you screaming? Why are you crying? He would just say to him, roll down the window, Baba. Okay, yes, baby, I'll roll down the window. And then rolling down the window, just role modeling for the child how you should be speaking to your dad, but not lecturing him or nagging him. And he did it day 1, then day 2, the child's crying. And the dad says, roll down the window, Baba. Sure, baby, Habibi, I'll roll down the window for you. The 3rd day, doing it again. The 4th day, this dad told me that when they got in the car and they had to go somewhere, and the routine was the child would start screaming for the window to be rolled down, he actually said to his dad, can you roll down the window, please, Baba? Like he did it in the way the dad had role modeled. But the father got that example from the Prophet ﷺ, which was to show the behavior that you wanted, right? Instead of lecturing and nagging and scolding.